I just came back from a week in Vietnam, and I feel very privileged. I'm blessed to be able to be where I am today in my position, to even like be able to talk to you guys, even have an iPhone. There are people out there that don't even have food, right? So I came back from a third world country. I was like, dude, so I came back hungry, ready to go, and motivated to help people, to give back. It feels great to give back. So I was watching the internet, just reading around. You know, that's what I do in my spare time. I'm actually looking. I'm always looking at other people's videos as well. I'm not the best trader in the world. I know there's still a lot that I need to know. I make mistakes every day. I'm getting better every day. And so as such, I'm not arrogant to think that I know everything. And so I still watch a lot of online videos where whatever I can pick up, I pick up. A lot of the information out there is, you know, not accurate, or it's salesy, or it's not pertinent to me, you know, but I can still learn something from it. Be it an inspirational video, a psychology video, a technical how to do something new that I had never tried, or just to see a different point of view on how they trade. So it's very interesting, because if you study other videos, other people's trading techniques, you can kind of sense how they trade. And it's kind of like studying your competition almost. It's like, so now I understand how other people are trading. And so maybe I can understand the patterns in the stock market, how stocks behave. If you're stuck in a little bubble, guys, that's all you know. And so you're very biased, and you can't understand the reasons why sometimes the stock moves. You know, like if you didn't know anything about the internet, for instance, and you didn't know there are existing chat rooms that pump, and you see these spikes out of nowhere, you're gonna go, what happened? It must be a flash crash or something like that. Well, no, it just happens to be a room full of guys who are pumping and dumping the stock, and they have like 1,000 guys in their room, and they're pumping it up. It's not news-based. There's no merit to it. It's basically a pump and dump. So if you're stuck in your bubble and you don't understand that there are entities out there that are doing this, you're lost for words. You end up chasing, thinking there's a news release. So what I'm trying to say is, look around, guys. There's not just one way to trade. The more you understand about the different ecosystems of the trade, the better understanding you get of your own trades. There's many different levels, okay? I'm at a retail level, and you may think I'm a big trader, small trader, but you know what? I'm relatively very small compared to institutional guys. And so I like to listen to sometimes like a high-level institutional guy talk about how he approaches a trade. Even though it doesn't really affect me, because I'm a very day trader, but you know what? You understand the bigger moves and the reason why. So don't disregard a lot of these guys. Even listen to videos that what you think Furus do. Furus are a coin I coined a long time ago called a fake guru. It's someone that, you know, in my opinion, is like pretending to be something they're not, an expert, but they're just a beginner. They don't understand what's going on. That's what I call, it's kind of like a false prophet, right? But even listening to them and being in their room, or just to understand their tweets, or just understanding, you know, what's going on, makes you a better trader. How does that make you a better trader? Because now you understand a lot of the rationality and the reasons why they trade the way they do. And believe it or not, there are many thousands of people that trade the way they do. Not everybody's trading the same way you are. You may consider yourself an expert or a beginner, but believe it or not, the beginners make a lot of money too. Because sometimes the herd makes a lot of money. We always joke about being a sheep, but you know what, man? There's a lot of sheep that make money. The problem is, over time, the sheep will lose their money, because luck can only go so far. But doesn't mean in the short term that you cannot make a lot of money being a sheep. That's why going long, if you're smart and you're on these rooms, take advantage of that. You know when to get in and you know when to get out. Don't just say, oh, it's a pump, I'm not going to enter this, and anybody's buying this is stupid. Why? If you recognize it to be a pump, go long. Wait until it peaks. I always like to say, the moment the backside hits, meaning when it stops going up, is the moment where, you know, your reality hits stupidity. You know, in the beginning, it's all like dude, it's all like buying pressure, like people getting greedy, right? They think it's gonna go up forever. And the peak happens is the peak of stupidity. When peak of stupidity, when it hits reality, that's when it starts dropping. And so I like to say, you know what, man? Watch every video you can. It does. You understand that some of these guys don't know what they're doing, but there are thousands of guys listening to this idiot or whatever. I'm not naming anybody, okay? I'm just saying, in general, I could be an idiot. Who knows? There could be a billionaire institutional trader or even a bigger guy thinking Bao's a moron. But you know what, man? There's a lot of morons like me that do well, make money. You know, but it's a different time frame we're in. It's like, so you can't really compare. So I stopped comparing because that's to me is insecurity. So I want to end it with this. There are phases and stages in your life, in your career. In the beginning, we don't know anything. So we're happy making maybe $50 a day, $100 a day. I was talking for an hour to a member today, and he's like, man, I'm going to stop going for the home run. My goal now is $100 a day. And then $100 a day is basically like less than my locate fee or, you know, my fees. But, you know, it's all relative, right? When you $100 a day is $20,000 a year, which is great money for most people. And so there are stages in your life where, and so as you progress, you know, each stage you learn. It's like a video game, guys, where like, I believe trading is like leveling up in a role-playing game or any video game where, you know, I started out as level 0 beginner. I have no clothes on. I'm naked. And then I get to level 5. And then now I find leather clothing. And then level 10, maybe I find like an axe to use, you know? And so now I'm like at level 100. I have steel plates, but I'm still not there. Maybe my level 100, I'm thinking I'm there. I have steel plates on. Not many people can penetrate the steel plates. Well, there's level 500 guys with a diamond plate and a diamond sword that'll break my steel. And then those guys think they're a hot shot. But then there's like level 1000. Those guys maybe have magic weapons. And then the guys at level 1000 think they're a hot shot. Then they have legendary weapons and godlike weapons in level 5000. And so, you know what? Unless you're Warren Buffett or someone like that who basically has godlike weapons, it's you know, you have to stay humble, because there's always someone out there thinking, not even thinking, using you, manipulating your arrogance to your own disadvantage. Because they're like, oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm in a big position. Oh, look at all these dumb guys buying this stock. It's gonna go down because there's dilution, and I'm shorting everything because I think I have diamond weapons, right? I know what I'm doing. I'm level 500, guys. And then you have a guy that comes that's like level 2000, and he buys up everything. Or, you know, there's just different levels to this, and it doesn't make you better or worse. It's just different. A guy that has legendary weapons, he's not going for the short moves, guys. He's going for a long-term position. And so there's pros and cons to that. Let me explain to you what I mean by that. When you're just starting, your goal is to make $100. It's easy. It's so easy if you think about it. I mean, I'm looking at it from a higher level, of course, because why? When you go $100, you're just in and out. You just in and out. There's no lag, no slippage. It's just a very tiny position where you are basically, you know, people won't even know 200 shares, 100 shares, nothing, right? It doesn't move the market, doesn't do anything. And you can basically arbitrarily trade that any time at point. Then you get to the higher levels where, yeah, maybe 10,000 shares, you would downtick the stock by 5 cents. I'm just making this up, right? And then you have guys that are like buying 100,000 shares, 500,000 shares. It'll take them like an hour or 2 hours to liquidate. And those guys think, no, they're a hot shot, right? And then you have guys that are buying like enough shares that they need to register with the company, with the SEC and the FINRA and all that, right? And it'll take like, they would never be able to get out unless they run it up and take 2 days to get out. And they think they're hot shot. Then you got guys that are institutional guys that basically own a giant block of it and sits on the board and, pretty much control the stock. So there's different levels to this, guys. And what I'm trying to say is, you know what, man, there's pros and cons to each level. So at the small $100 target level, you can move in and out very quickly. So that's your advantage. Your advantage is being stealthy, being able to be quick and nimble, get in and out, no problem. Sleep at night, no problem. The disadvantage, of course, you only make it $100. The more money you want to make, the more skill sets you need to acquire. So this is why I'm talking about in trading. It's like a role-playing game, guys. You have to go through different levels to acquire the attributes, the skill set to get to that position. If you cheat and you go and try to fight the dragon and you're just level 5 and you're naked with maybe a rock and some leather strap pants for armor, you're gonna get burned. You cannot cheat yourself up to the next level. It's like a video game. You have to acquire the skills. You have to acquire all the things. So there's a leveling up that you need to do. And so this is why I keep trying to tell people, don't worship these guys that have legendary powers. Those guys used to be you. They are now at a different level, and you're not ready for that level. You are not ready. You need to go through the steps. If you're hanging out with a guy that's fighting these dragons using mythical weapons, and you got a slingshot, what the fuck are you doing, guys? What the fuck? You're now you're a fanboy. You're not being helped because he's so far removed. They are so far removed that it doesn't really help you in your trading. You have to progress through the levels, okay? Because the techniques, so now let's talk about trading specifically, because the techniques of a guy that is at that level, that's moving massive size, that doesn't pertain to you. That's not a strategy that you can do. For him, short-term fluctuation doesn't mean anything for him. It's all about the end game. He has so much money that they can hold. If they're down, no big deal. They have techniques to hedge. They have techniques to do all sorts of stuff, guys. It's great. They're legendary. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that's awesome. You have to progress to that level, though. That's the thing. You don't have that luxury. If you're down, if your tiny account, you're even the tiny account, let's say $50,000, and you're down like 20,000, you're screwed. How are you gonna hedge yourself? How are you able to hold overnight? You won't. You get liquidated. You know, so there's a lot of things that you cannot do that they can do. So you have to keep that in mind. So as a beginner, guys, or as an intermediate, you have to basically learn a technique, learn a strategy that pretty much resembles you. So just like the role-playing game example, guys, you have to go on these quests with guys of your similar thing. But of course, the leader is going to be someone legendary. But if a legendary guy is having you fight a monster who's a dragon, you're just going to get fried. You need to learn techniques. This is not anything about MIC or anything like this. This is just me helping you guys figure your own process, your own path in life, right? You have to learn techniques first to power up using the weapons that you currently have. Of course, they will help you and guide you because they've been there. So that's the great job of a mentor. Great job of a mentor is knowing that they've been there just with a leather loin cloth, no shield, clawing their way through rodents for one level experience at a time. We're not even talking about dragons yet, And so you need to power up. You need to have strategies and that matches the current level that you're on. I always like to say this: don't compare your level 5 to someone's level 100. Okay, and don't compare your level 100 to someone's level 1,000. So that's the best analogy I can give you guys. And so you can look at these guys, even myself. Like I could teach more advanced topics like swinging a big position overnight, like figuring out looking at dilution and figuring out over a course of a 3-day. If I'm wrong, I can hold the position. But a lot of people don't have the luxury. So I choose to teach it in a stepping, because I say like this, guys, I can't teach everything. If I teach advanced topics, then the beginners would not be able to do it. I need to be able to, even shorting sometimes. being able to locate a stock. A lot of people don't have that luxury. So I keep that in mind myself. And so I have other strategies that help them get to that point. So I try to cater to both. But at the same time, you have to be aware of the fact that, yeah, this guy's cool. Bao is cool. He's shorts. But if you're not learning how to get to that level, then it's kind of like a waste, because if it's not helping you get there, you see what I'm saying? So I have my long strategies that help. I have guys, and this is why I have a bunch of different levels of guys in the room, guys. MIC. You people are like, why are you not getting these guys are making millions of dollars? Because imagine having a room, guys, of all guys making millions of dollars. They're not scalping like the way you might be. They might be just swinging big positions across 3 days. If they're down 100 grand, so be it. That's not the strategy you want, guys. You know, you have to get a strategy that matches. They have a big bankroll. I can suffer a big loss, no big deal. Big loss is relative, of course. There are guys that can fucking withstand like holding stuff for a week and being squeezed like 300-400%. You know, I don't want to be like that. But those strategies work if it works for them over time, because they know eventually they're shorting a peg that will go down. You know, so that's the thing, guys. I load up the MIC chat room with guys of different levels, and so you can see different types of techniques and strategies that you know, you level up, and eventually you'll get to the higher level. I mean, there's some of these guys online that are superstar traders. I'm telling you, superstar. And it's like, unless you have the toolbox that they have, you just can't do it, guys. You just can't do it. I mean, if I'm shorting something, it's like, can I afford to hold and hedge and do all this? I mean, I could, but I mean, most people can't. And I can only do it to a certain degree. For example, I don't have access to the tools. I don't have access to the institutional reports. You know, I mean, these guys, I mean, when you get to that level, they have cheat codes, guys. I'm telling you, cheat codes. I've seen the cheat codes. I've been there. They have reports that show you every single shareholder, how many shares they hold, and you can deduce how much is in the float and all that stuff every single night. I've seen these. And this goes way back to the promotion days of bulletin boards. They have these sheets that show you every single, and so one guy brought me over, and I'm like, what the hell, is my name on there? And so actually when you I don't know if it's on anymore, but it used to be like when you sign up for a brokerage account, there's this check mark that says release my information. Do not fucking do that. Say no, I don't want my information released, because then your name will show up on the sheets. And so that's why my name doesn't show up on most of the times. I call the broker every time I open up. So that's a hint. You got something right now. It's a tip. Call the broker and say, I do not want my name released. Because if your name is released, all the information, and they'll see your name. They'll see Bao. You know? So I hide that information so that they can't see that from me. So there's a lot of these tricks, guys. And they have these sheets. And I've seen these sheets that shows every single shareholder and how many fucking shares they have at each clearing firm. It's crazy, guys. I mean, I've been around this thing a long time. I've seen the cheat codes. It's not cheat code. This is information that's given by FINRA. But as you know, you have to be a big guy. You have to pay. I think they paid like $5,000 for these reports. You know, it's just something that you cannot have. Each report will cost them money, and then they have a subscription, and it's crazy. It's like the more power up you have. You see what I'm saying, guys? Now they're on level 5,000. They have all these spells and cheat codes and all this. It's not even cheat for you. You think it's cheat, but you're in level 1. You don't have anything. Level 1 guy doesn't even have a level 2. You guys see that? You see how the analogy works now? Level 1 does not even have level 2. Meaning, like, you know, the level 2, you see the bids and asks. When I started trading, I didn't even know this is level 2. So I'm just buying. You know how I was getting the quotes, guys? I was going to Ameritrade. It was Daytac and stuff back then, and refreshing it. And that's how I got real-time quotes. I did not have real-time quotes. I was using Yahoo delayed quotes. And then I had to go in and pretend I was buying a stock and refreshing it. And I was like, oh shit, dude, I'm level 5. My beginner friends were still using the free delayed quotes to trade because they didn't know any better. They're level 1. I'm level 5 now. My cheat code is pretending to place a buy and refreshing it and see it's called a level 1 code, which is basically what the price is, right? And then when I got level 2, I was like, holy crap, I'm at level 20. My friends can't even see real time all the orders, bids, and offers. I thought I was like, holy shit. When I got level 2, I was like, oh my God, I was going to clean up. You know? And then what happens is like, dude, then you find out there's like order books within the level 2. There's ARC Open Book, New York Stock Exchange, MX books. And so it's like, oh my God, dude, it's just like, dude. So basically there's so much massive information out there, guys. And these big funds, these big frequency trading funds, these algos, all these fucking, you know, there's more information out there than, so think about it. Facebook, the most valuable asset right now is information, right? And you don't think NASDAQ and the exchanges sell this to these funds? We have no shot, guys. And so like I said, man, if we level up the right way, we will acquire all the skill sets at that level. You know, some people are happy making $100 a day. I'm cool with just 4,000. If I make $1 million a year, I'm cool, dude. I'm chilling. I used to make a ton more. Trust me. But now, as you get older, you're gonna realize this. It's not money I'm chasing, guys. It's time. As you get older, time runs out, and so if I can maintain my current living, but work less, I will. So you know, I pay a lot of people now, so that I have free time. So if I didn't pay these people, I could do their job and I would make a lot more money because I don't have to pay them. But time is more valuable to me now. So, you know, at some point, you kind of stop and reset in life. You know, it depends on your stage. So like I said, man, you have to go in the right step, guys. Do not try to use a cheat code to level up. You have to get there the right way. You have to learn from the right guys that help you level up. You can't just automatically jump to someone that doesn't want to teach you what a level 1, level 2 is. If you're at that level, this is why I have a bunch of different types of guys in the room. It's not because people go, oh man, why do you have these inexperienced newbies as a moderator? And like, that's because there's whole different levels of this game, guys. You know, I personally don't want to teach someone how to read a level 2. I can, but I don't. And so there are guys that are less experienced that are going through that and learning it together. Does that make sense? So to me, it's all about the level. That's the secret, guys. Do not try to level up too fast. Because as you're leveling up, what happens? You're building your bankroll as well as your arsenal of tools, your experience. Okay? So in the role-playing games, I used to play role-playing games a lot, guys. Computer games. You know, they have health. And then the mana, so mana is more like so health is like your hit points, right? Your health, hit points, and your mana is more like your intelligence, creating spells and stuff. But we can call that intelligence. And then you have your experience. And experience is every time you kill a dragon, you get experience points, and you level up. And so, you know, think of trading like that. And so along the way, there's gold that you accumulate and weaponry and all that. And so every time you level up, you learn a skill. Your health increases, you're stronger, you have more money, you know. So take your time, guys. You have to level up the right way. So a secret role-playing games I used to play is I don't level up as fast as I can, because what happens the next level up, you're gonna die really quick unless you build, right? So I try to milk as much as I can of the same level until I level up, because I'm the highest at that level. I can kill the monsters very easily. So it's very easy to kill the monsters and accumulate the much as experience as I can. So I'm gonna try to capitalize on that current level. And then when I think I'm ready, I'm gonna level up. You know, that's what it is, man. So you start from scalping to positions trading within the day, because you have more money now. You know, you're focused on building your capital, but at the same time, you're learning more. You have more leeway to hold. You can hold a stock now, you know, longer, because you can let the stock work for you. You're not scared about losing money, you know. And then you get to the point where you can swing a stock overnight and realize, hey man, if this sucker goes up 50%, I'm not going to lose on my account. You know, and so you level up like that. And then maybe you'll get to one day where you're like, dude, I'm going to fucking hold a giant block position and see what happens in a year. You know, it's just a different thing, you know? And then you get to the point, maybe you have enough money, you're going to buy a company. You become a board. It doesn't matter where it is. But my whole point is you steer your life the way you steer it. Okay? So when I look at these guys, yeah, dude, they're doing great. It's awesome. But it's like, how do they help their members if, you know, that's what I'm saying. So for me, I have a different approach to it. I'm not here to cater to the superstar trader guys. Those guys know what they're doing. I want to help a niche where people don't help anybody, which is the beginner level, which is the beginner to intermediate level. Okay, that's where most Americans are. Most people in the world are like that. They're not the superstar $1 million traders, right? At that point, guys, you know, they know what they're doing. So that's why I am focused on MIC in that area, because no one's helping that. And to me, I have the most benefit to helping the most amount of people, because for every 1,000 beginners, there's like $1 million trader, right? I've been there, dude. I made massive money. I've got to the point where I mastered the bulletin board game so much where I was kind of like institutional. They flagged me. Night trading banned me. I fucked them up at their own game. I was basically, I had like 4 or 5 accounts, which is, dude, it's nothing illegal. I was trading so big where I couldn't put my money into one account because it was limited to insurance. I had so much cash sitting around, like if some fucking shit went under, FDIC didn't cover that much. 200,000, 100,000, whatever, you know? So I you know, but anyways, you know, so basically they thought I was like institutional. One day I'll tell you about the $1 million trade. It was fucking, dude, it was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. I basically fucked them up, you know. So, but before I got to the level, I needed to level up. I needed to understand the whole process of how they're figuring out order flow. I fucked their order flow up. I created the order flow. I bought so much, I had so much demand, and they thought it came from all sorts of directions, but it was just one crafty motherfucker. You know, it was legit orders, dude. I had open orders. I didn't want to feel me. I had open orders from 5 different brokers, millions of shares out there, supporting the stock, selling it. I was basically gaming their own game and kicked their ass. So this is where I understand. I've been at the beginning, and I've been at that semi-institutional level where I was trading 10% of the stock. I was actually, back in the day, I was at 10% of most of those bulletin board stocks volume, the entire day, 10%. I would sit on the bid and the offer, and I would move the box around. So in the way, I took money from them. I did what they did, but I did a more manual. I was just, dude, I had so much size, and I was just moving it up. And all I'm doing is making the spread all day, you know? And then Fannie Mae came, and the fuck, dude, so by doing that for years, and understanding the promotion game, and understanding how hype works, and understanding how order flow works, and their systems work, that's the leveling up, right? Understood. Then I was like, boom, I'm going to fuck them up. I'm waiting for that one perfect opportunity to fuck them up. I fucked them up a lot of times, but I've made, shit, dude, I've made 100,000 trades, $250,000 a fucking day. I mean, those are normal. I mean, not normal, but it wasn't that big, right? $100,000 a day, $250 a day. At that time it was big, but it's like a lot of people did it. But then when all things came upon the right thing, I capitalized that shit, and that's when I did that 1.4 mil. But it was not the money. It was the fact that, dude, man, everything came together, and it was like a video game. I leveled up. For that one day, I leveled up. I was fucking legendary sword master of that one day of that one stock. But when you look at it, you know, there's guys making like $100 million a day. I'm nothing. But it's fine. You know, I'm not the best trader. Like I said, I'm not the best trader. I do it for myself. I know where I came from. And, you know, I'm happy, you know. I'm not here to be the best, except for the best that I can do. If I don't put everything to it, I would regret it for the rest of my life. So I've reached certain milestones that I've had, and those are more financial and personal. So now the next milestone I have is to build build a group of army of guys that can trade, that can help the world, that, you know, basically this is it. It's like building a school, which is MIC is my school, you know, our school. We're building it together. So, you know, that's for me. Financially, I mean, dude, trading wise, I mean, I reached a peak of what I thought that industry could do. Sure enough, the Wolf of Wall Street movie came out. They banned all that stuff. Promoters got put in jail. They try to investigate me. They did not believe that what I did was real trading. I showed them. You would not believe how many times the FBI and SEC and all that contacted me. I'm on their fucking redial list. You know, I help them. I was like, dude, I don't know anything. I'm just a trader. They look at my trade history and it's like this big. I had 6 boxes a year in trade reports. 6 boxes, guys. 6 fucking boxes. Those guys know who I am back in the day. You know, so I've reached a level of that, and so now I'm trying to help as many people as I can. So now you understand the, you know, when you're just chasing money and stuff, it's just boring, man. It's just fucking boring. It's like it's an endless game. When you reach that level, so for example, if you're $100 day trader, you're like, oh my god, I made 1,000. That's a big thing. What's next? 10,000? When you reach 10,000, 100,000. What's after 100,000? 200,000, and then 500,000, a million. What happens when you hit a million? 5 million? You know what I'm saying? It just never ends, which is good. Some guys chase all that level to billions of dollars, and now what happens is if you're a billionaire, you buy boats, yachts, and you chase like a penis size. I have a 200-foot yacht. I have a 201-foot yacht. So you see these crazy guys just building another 10 foot or 10 yards, whatever they measure it in, right? Just trying to out penis size one another. It's just boring. It's just like, imagine if you have infinite power in life in a video game. It's boring. You can't die. You just walk through and let people hit you, you know? And so there's levels to this game, guys. And so you have to find your own motivation. So that's why MIC came. It was my motivation now to take as many of these people that want to be traders and teach them to trade. And that is my motivation, dude. That is my leveling up. I'm excited, you know. So I don't know what that entails. I've just started doing this journey with MIC half a year ago. And I think we're doing quite well, knock on wood. But now you understand. I've actually put some of my trading aside because I don't have time. I'm trying to teach them. And so, you know, I trade for fun. Of course, it's money. Money's fun, of course, you know. But it's not in like the huge size I used to trade, you know. Because, I mean, well, it doesn't really excite me. The money aspect doesn't excite me. It's more of a teaching thing. I'm trying to try new things, you know. And so, you know, I might do some giant big trades again, which I once in a while do, you know. But for me, like I said, man, it's different. So I'm trying to level up now in terms of trying to reach out and teach as many people as I can. And when you talk about the moderators being new traders, of course they're new traders. What's the point of me getting a bunch of experienced guys stroking up? I won't shoot them. Someone might get that clip. But, you know, what's the point of me getting a bunch of billion-dollar traders and doing what, man? Like, oh, we're the best. We're the best. You know, like, fuck, dude. Fuck, I don't subscribe to that ego shit. I want to get a bunch. No one's done this. Get a bunch of beginning traders and turn them into superstars. I've done that, guys. The guy that traded with me made $8 million trading. The Fannie Mae Day guy, one of my best friends that we started trading together, and I taught him, and then he learned my system. I made that day 1.42 whatever, and he made over $1 million. Maybe I'll get him to come back. So these guys you never even heard of because they don't go online. I've taught these guys. He made $1 million in one day, guys. He's the only reason why I didn't make over 2 million because he took every single one of my prints. If he was not there, I'd probably make 2.5 million that day. That'd be sick, right? He took every single one because he traded exactly the way I did. I mentored him and he did exactly. So over the course of his career, he made like $8 million. We didn't trade that long together. He retired somewhere in the Turks and Caicos. Hello. But you know, like, so the guy that my protege made $8 million. So I did well. I did well. Meaning, not money wise for me. Of course I did more out of them, but I did well in the sense of I helped a guy reach some sort of legendary status, and no one needs to know because he's very humble, and that made me feel very happy. And so that's why I want to replicate that with MIC guys. So now you guys understand. I want to do, that's my theme. Take a bunch of guys, help them the right way. No ego. Anybody has ego, get the fuck out. Be normal guys. And so you imagine a world where you have a lot of successful normal guys. They're not out here trying to hurt anybody. They're genuinely helping people. Because lead by example, guys. You lead by examples. And I try to do that every day. I'm not a perfect guy. I still get pissed off. I still, but I'm trying. I'm trying to be more modest. Everybody, the materialistic shit doesn't really turn me on anymore. I've had all that. Now I like to travel more. I have more free time, like I said. So now my focus is on training these guys to become the next guys in line to help me retire. Not financially retire. Retire from helping. Like, I used to help so many people more, but I'm gonna eventually get old. I can't help. So I want to replicate as much guys to try to live in my path. I guess that's kind of egotistical for me to think my path is the right path. But you know what, man? What can you do, right? I mean, I think my path is okay. And so, you don't have to go along my journey, but it'd be great if you do. I want to build a team of great guys who's going to help other people along the road. And it's not about the money. It's not about the money. We share information. We teach them. And like I said, it's all relative, guys. You do not need to make $1 million a year to live a happy life. If you can just support yourself and have the freedom, if you can make, like I said, if you can make the same amount of money you do now in your job, but with less time doing it and more free time for your family, for whatever, that's a win. So that's what my focus is now. It's not to make all the money in the world. It's to maintain that, but have more free time. So that is my goal. That is what I'm trying to teach. And that's the purpose of MIC, to be able to now have you guys do a job you like eventually, learn a trade or whatever it may be. Trading may not be for you, but it's just, at least you learn the mentality. You learn a group of good people, that there are good people out there, and it could be a supplemental income. It doesn't have to be your full time. So this is the secret, guys, to leveling up in trading. Okay. So that, I don't know if this is an FAQ, but this is pretty much the cheat code to being successful in trading in life, in my opinion. Okay? Not the money. It's eventually you're going to get to the point where you have no time left. Imagine if I get old, I would replace every single dollar I have to live an extra 10 years. There you go. There you guys have it, man. Hopefully I'll make a part 2, but hopefully this is a good part 1. Have a good day, guys.